Hello, everybody. Reggie Tam here, and we are playing some 4NL on Unibet Poker. Um, the reasons I am doing that is to just make a live play video because I haven't done one for a while, and the GTO Wizard videos, as much as I enjoy them, don't seem to be especially popular. So I'm going to keep doing them now and again, but we're doing a live play video just by way of change. Um, we're playing at the lower stakes 4L because I watched I didn't watch the whole video, but I watched the start of a video by Eggnog Poker yesterday on YouTube. Go and give him a follow and a subscribe or whatever it is you do on fucking YouTube. I'm just going to flat the King Queen suited here on the button. Well, that's a flop, isn't it? We'll get back to Eggnog and his latest diatribe in just a moment. Just calling. This would be very disappointing if we get 6 or a 9 run out here. Because this hand has a lot of promise and so fucking run out's that. Probably gonna have to fold the river. Oh no, then he blocks. Oh fuck's sake. I mean, I don't think he has a straight and chooses his size. We literally beat nothing. We don't beat any value hands whatsoever, I don't think. Um Try to think of a hand we beat. A value combo. Don't think well, I couldn't think of one. So he's going to fold. Yeah, he was like, he did a video yesterday. I was quite amused by it, to be honest with you. At the start, he was just ranting about, like the state of the nano stakes speed poker pools, which I think is where he's grinding at the moment for like a bankroll challenge on Twitch, etc. And he made some very, very, very good points about like the state of the fucking games, what a mess they are. He was suitably scathing of all these absolute mega nits. And I'm a tight player, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a mega nit. He was suitably scathing about all these nits, and he made quite a lot of good points. And then he went on to talk about how to exploit them and stuff like that. And at that point, I thought, no, you're missing the point now, fella. And this isn't to do him down at all, because he seems like a good guy. So I'm not trying to do him down. I'm not trying to tear him down or anything. But I think he missed the main point, which is don't fucking play in those games. Instead of like going on like a rant about um, how bad those games are, and then some fucking wild exploits that might get you a win rate. Um, he would have been better served to direct players away from those fucking games and into better games. As we 3-bet the pocket eights here. We see a flop where we get the toppest of sets. Oh, that's nice. I think we're all in. Yeah, we're all in, and we are good. And yeah, that hand, literally, as I was making the point about just don't play in the games, I was about to say play in softer games, play at regular tables. That hand there, perfect example of it. Perfect example of the point I'm about to probably labour. Yeah, just don't complain about the games. You see, I've got my pretty large Facebook group, albeit not the most chatty, but the general rule of thought or rule of thumb seems to be, yeah, these games are really fucking shit. Everyone knows it. Literally everyone fucking knows those games are shit. But they still remain probably the most popular form of the game for nano stakes players. Maybe not the recreational players, but the regs. The regs that is breaking even. That they've been grinding 5-0 for fucking years, and they're either barely winning, slightly losing, breaking even, whatever, but they don't get out. They never make any money from fucking poker whatsoever. And I know you're not playing 5-0 for money, to make money, but you are playing 5-0 to hopefully build a bankroll so you can move up and then start making some money. And did I warn you this point was going to be laboured? Fuck me, it's going to be laboured because we're going to be interrupted by hands too. As I'm going to go for a check call with these pocket tens. Versus half pot. We're not going to alter our plan. We're just going to go with call. Probably going to call turn 2 unless he goes too big. See, now he's gone big on this turn. Big part of me wants to just like consider bluff raising here. But how often are people going to be bluffing in this spot? How often are they going to fold a queen? I guess we'll find out, because I think this board's reasonable for us to... Is it? Are these players... Oh, timed out. I was trying to figure out if these players were like opening 6s and 4s and things. Could they have any sets there? Never mind. We timed out. I probably wasn't going to raise. Probably wasn't going to call either. So yeah, I've lost my train of thought now. Fuck's sake. Don't get old, people. When you get to like 40 odd, just... I don't know. No, I'm not going to say anything inappropriate. Just don't get old. Don't allow your mind to get old and wander. I'm going to call the 4s on the button. And while I try and remember what the fuck it was I was saying. Pocket Kings going to open. Pocket 4's just going to check back here in position. Yes, I was ranting about people grinding those games for hundreds of thousands of hands and not winning, wasn't I? We'll get back to that in just a moment. We're going to check raise these kings. No one not, because no one bet. Now we're going to bet smallish. 3.5 big seems reasonable. And we're going to squeeze up the ace king. We get 2 calls and we get a river that doesn't necessarily always have us beat, but we can no longer seek value, and we probably don't want to do a lot of check calling. Just check, sir. No, well, we're just calling that, are we? Calling that because he might be like just like using an inappropriate size for bluff. He might be trying to value bet a queen. We'll probably just beat, but we're just going to call. Queen 9, yeah, so that's why we can't fold there. So yeah, these games, and if we get in any hands, I'm not going to talk about them until I've finished. I don't care what we get. We could get a royal flush, and I'm ignoring it. We're just going to carry on talking about what I was talking about. So you got all these players who play in these games, and that they're good enough to like play 5-L and maybe higher, and not lose money at poker or not lose at a significant win rate. But they're not good enough to understand that, fuck me, what a monumental waste of time this is. They're just constantly like, oh, if I can just improve, I'd just like keep working hard on my game. If I could just tilt a little bit less, I'll be a winning player. If I can just like, find a couple more river folds, and they'll find reasons to continue grinding me. Like, yeah, I know I made a mistake there. I know this was a mistake. I know that was a mistake. And if I could just stop doing that, then I'll be a winning player. Instead of just being like, you know what? I'm fucking human. I'm always going to make mistakes. I don't want every mistake to be fucking pounced on by some asshole fucking nit from Estonia. Who's just going to fucking play over pairs and sets, and that's about fucking it. Yeah, and just getting fucking better games. Now, I get that there's not always like loads of options for people. If you're UK based, you've got fucking many options. You've got Unibet, which is I'm on now, which the 4L games are just a joke. They're a joke soft. You've got Sky, 4 and 10L is a joke soft. Even 20L on Sky is joke soft. You have iPoker, where you've got many different skins, where you can just go on like a massive like bonus whoring session. Not going to talk about this. I'm just going to click buttons because I'm still talking. If you're Euro based, I'm not sure what there is for you, but I know like plenty of Euro based players can get on Unibet, for example. But loads of Euro based players can get on iPoker. You can even just play on your stars and your GGs and things, but actually just fucking game select and play reg tables. We can't fold here because we tap a good shot. So we check raises and checks. Clearly he never has a straight. Problem is this guy can. So we're checking. We're going to lose this hand. Yeah, so I think Eggnog, I think he really enjoyed it because he was ranting and you could see he was actually fucking angry. And I love a good angry rant. I love a good angry rant, but he missed the point. And the point isn't, like work on your game and do this and do that to try and like eke out a. Because even if you're like really good and do all the exploits, there still isn't that much fucking EV in playing those games. There just isn't. I mean, so many people are on fucking bankroll challenges, and the getting through the 5, 10, and L bit just takes forever, and many of them never fucking make it because the games are just so shit. It's just really, really hard to have a decent win rate. If you're doing like take Easty for example, he's doing and fair enough. I've had a few like subtle digs at him in the past, but this isn't going to be a subtle dig. But he's playing a 10 and L challenge on Triple Eight Poker. He's been doing it for the fucking longest time, and let's face it, the lad's not a moron. He studies. He gets coaching from good players. He has access to good players to talk to, and he's winning at like fucking 3 bigs 100 EV over 140, 150,000 hands. So there'll be people like who played twice as many, 3 times as many than and still haven't fucking moved up. The game is just a massive fucking rake trap. The rate's really high. The pools are really fucking nitty. How do you make most of your money in poker? You make it from value betting and getting value from worse hands. When you're playing in pools where most people are just sitting around waiting for overpairs, sitting around waiting for fucking sets, sitting around waiting for 2 pair plus before they put any money in, where are you getting your value from? So then you people say, oh, you fucking exploit them by redlining. Yeah, great. That's fucking marvellous. I get that. And, you can beat those games for a red line. I haven't seen very many red line players in this world that have a good win rate. Yeah, they have really good red lines, but the fucking blue lines are typically atrocious. So, yeah, fine. Yeah, you can redline win those games. I can't because I'm not that type of player, but it's possible to do that. And that's probably a better way to play the games than try a blue line winning them, I imagine. But it's just not good. It's highly unsatisfactory. Um, just getting games where you can just have big blue line win rates. Right. Anyway, what we're doing here with 3-bet, we've got a flop that I don't particularly want to see bet, so I'm not going to. Did I just have enough show? Yeah, these guys can just have like Queen, Jack, 10, Jack, King, Queen. I don't think we need to turn our ace 3 into a bluff here. I mean, yeah, we are going to get beat sometimes by hand at pocket 5, so we could have maybe made fold out by tripling. But I think ace high is enough showdown value, so we're not going to bluff, and we chop it up. King, Queen, small bet flop. This player called. Then we're going to big bet turn and then big bet river. I think. No, we're not. We're just going to big bet the turn. So yeah, the cliff notes are Eggnog, you were really on the right track, but you missed the open goal of just saying people don't play in these fucking games, which would have been way better advice to give to your followers and your subscribers than the advice you gave, which no doubt I didn't watch it all, but no doubt it was good stuff based on your experience and your skill in the game. But it won't help people as much as telling them just not to play those fucking games. So we're going to make some videos where we are playing in soft games and hopefully encourage some of you guys to just take my advice and get off the speed poker fucking addiction. Get off the speed poker addiction. Just play reg tables. No matter, I don't care where you play. And people who watch my channel a long time have heard me make this point a million times, but nevertheless, I'm going to make it again. I don't care where you play. You don't have to move to a particular site to find soft games. You just have to know how to find the soft games on the site on which you play, because they will exist on every site. They absolutely will exist. I'm playing in these games to make the point really quite open because I know these games are really soft. So I know that we're going to be able to find spots over the next however long I play for to make like really hammer my point home. We'll check back here with the Jack 9. We're not going to check down 6 high here. I was just totally autopiloting through this pot. We're going to bet the river. Win. Calling here. on the strength of our weak draws, not on the strength of our jack. Versus small probe. I think we probably have a borderline. I mean, it's close. We could just fold. It is pretty close. But I'm going to click the call button this time. Yeah, we were beat. I'm not surprised by that. It was only close because of his sizing. We don't beat value hands very often there. I've auto pat me with this. This should just be an ISO pre. Now he fucked it because I'm too busy fucking yapping. Do we bluff this river? I mean, he hasn't put any money in the pot, has he? We'll have a little bluff. If he's got a spade, I don't expect it to be a strong one. Given there's no money at all going in the pot. Ace Queen off in the small blind. We're going to go with a little 3-bet here. By the way, yeah, my names, they are all like, apart from this one down here, which is a tribute to Ronnie Barker because he looks like Ronnie Barker. They are all kind of like subtle anal sex references. It's a woman with a shocked look on her face saying, not in that one, ooh, that hurts, and be gentle. Because I am that fucking immature. And we could check or bet here. I think with the ace of spades, we're going to check because we can be all in on a lot of runouts without actually making a hand. Turns out we just bet quarter pot and win anyway. So I'm going to try and play well in these games, but I'm not going to like play super hard, if you will. I'm going to be trying my best, but we're not going to be taking every 3-bet spot, for example. We're going to be trying to have some flats, try to play some pots with some players we think we have a pretty big edge on, rather than just like make the game all about pre-flop. So here we have this guy opened. This guy just donked out for like less than 1/3 pot on a board that theoretically he should have 0 donks on because it just like it favours him the least. We're going to call with our equity. We're going to try and exploit what I think is somebody just trying to get to showdown with like a weak king or a jack. We're going to just try and put maximum pressure on here. Big raise turn. Probably going to overbet the river too. I think when people donk in these spots, quite often they might be like trying to induce or they might just have a very strong hand. But when he goes like small flop and then same size on the turn but a significantly lower percentage of the pot, it's very, very, very often face up. Yeah, I've got a weak showdown value hand type thing. Here we're going to ISO the button with the Queen Jack. I typically like if under the gun limps, I ISO from like the middle position seat, I go 4 bigs versus like middle position limps, I go 5. And when I'm on the button, I typically just go 6 versus limps. That's usually my strategy for bet sizing versus limps. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, these are just random tables too. There is no game selection on Unibet, but this is 4NL, which is technically higher stakes of 5NL on GG and Party and PokerStars and all those places. And you've only been watching for what, 20 minutes, and I'm sure you can all see these games that already look like significantly softer than what you see in speed poker pools. I mean, here, for example, multi-way pot. We have multi-way pots. We have people calling and then using inappropriate donk sizes. These games are just soft. If you're breaking even at 5NL GG Russian cash, you'll be beating like 4NL Unibet for like double-digit win rates without question. That's not even up for debate. It's just fact. If you're breaking even at 5NL Zoom in any pool, 5NL Speed Poker in any pool, you just beat these games with 10NL, unless you've got some serious mental game issues playing against fish. Calling here. Are we c-betting this ace king? I think we're probably just going to like bet really small, and then just like make some decisions on turns and rivers about whether we want to barrel off or not. On the deuce of spades, we do not want to barrel off. We have showdown value with our ace king. Yeah. So what the 1.5 big blind bet on the flop did, it probably blocks him from like probing larger on the turn quite often, gets us to realise our equity at pretty high frequency, and now we just decide whether to bluff or value bet or check, and we're just going to check here and expect to win a reasonable amount. Same hand, which is an interesting way to play as king there. I don't think it's terrible, to be fair. These games, like not these games in general, but like under the gun ranges are generally pretty tight. I mean, I don't flat ace king out of the big blind versus under the gun, but I don't think it's a diabolical strategy. I think we probably want to 3-bet it nearly all the time, but I don't hate his strategy there. But yeah, like I say, I'm sure you can all agree that look around these tables, less than 100 bigs, less than 100 bigs, less than 100, less than 100, less than 100, less than 100. This table doesn't have anyone less than 100. Might be a bad table, or might just be some bad players with lots of chips. But we're seeing limping. Here we go again, limping here. We're seeing limping. We're seeing inappropriate fucking lines being taken. We're seeing inappropriate sizes being used. They're just good games to be in. You're going to make a little bit more money playing them, or quite a lot more money. You're going to actually have a chance of fucking moving up. But more than that, you're going to enjoy the fucking game more because it's not going to be dull as shit. You're not going to be like 4 table in 5 and L going fold, 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 fold. Oh, I've got an overpair, oh, been check raised, oh, I'm fucked, but I'm not going to fold it anyway. And then just get stacked by a fucking Latvian set that they fucking played face up, called a fucking 12 big blind 3-bet with just a fucking set mine. It's just an all-round better experience. You are going to have a higher EV in these games. You're going to have a way higher expected win rate, and you're actually going to fucking enjoy yourself. Yeah, this site maybe not, especially because it hasn't got a HUD, and for all you HUD nerds out there, that would really piss you off. But that's part of what makes these games a bit better too, because the lack of a HUD will definitely dissuade some regulars from participating in the games, which is a good thing. And I think the rake's relatively low here. I could be wrong. I think I do have a rake comparison site. I'm probably going to end up sitting out somewhere or other. Is Unibet even on here? Yeah. Oh no. That doesn't seem as good as I remember it being. No, we want lower stakes, don't we? So we'll say 5 and L Unibet. Is it there? Yeah, it's the best. I mean, look at this. 1%. Just like Unibet is a really, really good place to start grinding a bankroll from. The rake's really low. By the way, I don't get paid a penny by Unibet. I have no affiliate with them whatsoever. I'm just trying to give you guys genuinely good advice. The rake is incredibly low in these games. You know, you can. I mean, I just stuck 50 quid on here this morning just to dick around and make a video with. But I imagine you could stick if you're not an idiot. I imagine you could stick 50 quid on here and spin up a bankroll and relatively quickly, depending on your volume and how many hours you play, get through 4 and L, get through 10 and L, and then just like give yourself a shot of playing some 25 and L. I think if you're a 5 and L speed poker break even player and you come to play on Unibet, you'd be playing 10 and L in no time. And if you got like a reasonable bankroll on GG, say you had $200 and you were playing 5 and L because you're a bankroll nit, and you could stick 200 on here and you could just play 10 and L straight away. 25 and L's pretty soft on here too. It's a bit nitty, a few more eggs, but still plenty soft for the limit that you're playing. And you know, you could go from being someone who's making maybe $100 and something a month grinding fucking leaderboards on GG 5 and L to somebody who's pulling out a few €100 a month playing 10 and L or 25 and L, and just having an all-round better experience doing it. I really would urge you to strongly considering moving where you play to regular tables. Like I say, I don't want to shit on Eggnog because I think he seems like a reasonable guy, decent guy. He seems to care about his community. He seems to care about the game. I'm all for all of that stuff. Now, do we want to raise this river versus min bet? I think we probably do. We can rep some misdraws here. Don't want to get 3 bet, of course, because if we get 3 bet, we're probably fucked. Yeah, so I don't want to shit on Eggnog, but I think he made a lot of good points, and then I think he missed the main point, which was he went on to then just like tell people how he thinks you should exploit those games. Where I think what he should have done, he could have made his video like an hour shorter by just saying, and the solution is don't fucking play these bastard games. And he could have saved himself an hour. But I'm sure it's going to be a popular video on his channel, and I hope it does well, and I hope he does well. I will, if I remember, put a link to the video beneath this video, if I remember. I'll try my best to remember. If I don't remember, if you're watching this and there isn't a link to the video beneath it, mention it in the comments, and then I will edit the video and put the link in. So this guy's donking again. He donked earlier, multi-way. With just Jack 8, we're just going to let him get away with this, but we are certainly keeping an eye on him because he's clearly not a good poker player, and I'd like to see some showdown stuff with him against other players. See I'd love to see what he donks and then gets to showdown with, and that's like another good thing about playing reg tables. You can spot a fish in a speed poker pool. But unless you stick around watching hands after you fold to see showdowns, you're going to miss so much fucking information on them. And most of the time you won't. You just fast forward, leave the hand, and then not collect a load of valuable information against the very few fish in the pool. In these games, I'm just like, right, okay, I'm watching this guy. Even when I'm not in a pot, if he's in a pot, and I'm aware he's in a pot, I'm not saying I'm watching him religiously because I've got 3 other tables. But if I see him enter a pot, I'm going to try my best to keep my eye on it and see what's happening. See if we can spot any pick up any sizing tells he might have, or what have you, any tells he has in general, so we can try and exploit him. I think we're just gonna try and get the showdown against this guy and see what's going on. We could raise our hand here, but it would start to get very thin very quickly. Right, so here we go again. He's using this smaller size on the turn in terms of in relation to the pot, even though it's a bigger bet than his flop bet. In relation to the pot, it's a smaller size. We're not folding this river. I don't love it because it's a spade, but we're not folding it unless he does something crazy, like go all in or something. Yeah, okay. So that kind of confirms the read from earlier. He had no business betting that hand on the flop or the turn. He had showdown value, and he was never going to get value, or unlikely to get value from anything other than draws. So yeah, that kind of confirms what I already thought about him earlier when we thought he was just leading out with a weak king or a jack in that board where he donk flop and then donk turn for for the same size. So yeah, I think that my immediate adjustment to him is going to be just raise more when he bets, because he looks like he's maybe betting hands that don't deserve to bet but have pieces of the board. So we're just going to try and exploit that by maybe checking to him and putting some raises in, or maybe making pretty small raises versus his bets for thinnish value, thinner than usual value. Ace jack off here. We're going to squeeze up from the big blind. And take it down. I think this is the first 3 bet we've faced this session in however long we've been playing, 20 odd minutes. button limp there from this dude. I've got a friend called Crispy. He's not a poker player either. So we've got Crispy up here, who's not a poker player. My friend Crispy, who's not a poker player. 9-5 suited. No. I think we can sometimes like open a bit wider. And we have fish in the blinds, etc. But yeah. I'd probably rather have small, like raw high card equity there than the 9-5. So here's a problem we have here. This guy looks like Soft Player, just going to stab a lot versus Miss Bets. He hasn't here, which I'm not sure what that suggests to me. I think it probably means he doesn't have a made hand, or he didn't have a made hand on the flop, because we've seen him like bet a weak made hand that didn't really warrant betting. Yeah, he didn't. He had the King 4 there. I know you couldn't quite see, but that's what he had. Just didn't bluff. I don't love this, but we're going to tear one off. I really don't love it when this guy calls. I mean, this guy's bet doesn't have to mean very much, but when this guy calls, he's either got an ace, a queen, or a pretty good draw, you would imagine. If he bets again and he calls, then we're just out. If he leads here, I'm not going to be excited. He does lead for 10% pot, though, which I think looks a lot like an ace. We might chop with some of his ace X. We clearly can't afford getting this price. Yeah. Not to say it's obvious what he had there. I mean, we're not certain to be right, but it did look a lot like a very weak ace X. So here we have our friend here. He's min raised under the gun. And we're going to ask him to put a little bit more in before the flop. We're going to miss. Are we going to see bet? Not with this exact combination, I don't think. Okay, this guy checks back. Now, in theory, he can have a lot of like pairs here that are pot controlling, etc. But we think this guy stabs his made hands. So my working hypothesis right now. My working hypothesis right now is we had the best hand on the flop. We don't think this guy bluffs. But we can't fall for this size. This guy might just end up value betting the shit out of us here with like a weak made hand. So he did bluff again. So he did bluff the turn there, but then didn't bet the river when he very, very, very obviously had the best hand. So then we know this guy is very recreational. Very recreational. We just went for the call here on the button, which is fine. I think 3-bet would be preferred, but we're just going to try to get into flop spots here today, not be super aggro. And now I'm just going to fold because I just don't trust low stakes ring game players to find enough squeezes there. And if he is, then good for him. I mean, we probably should have 3-bet that hand pre. Oh, he's having another 3-bet, is he? Right, so this is like this guy 3-bet not long ago. He's squeezed, now he's 3-bet again. We're going to see a flop with the 10-9. Not especially comfortable as hands I would rather have than 10-9. Do flop a gut shot. So after saying we're never getting 3-bet, we now appear to be getting 3-bet quite a lot. This guy's 3-bet's 1/3, but this guy's probably a reg of some description. Not saying he's going to be good, but he's probably a reg. We are going to call here with our gut shot. Turn, he should barrel at a relatively high frequency. Oh, I've lost our friend up here. And we've rivered showdown value. I was looking forward to try a bluff when he checked back, but then we rivered showdown value. I'm going to check again and maybe get fruity versus a bet. Because when he goes like C bet 1/3, check back, bet, I don't think it's going to be like mega strong. I think he might have a hand that beats 10-9. This could be a punt incoming. But we're actually going to like raise here, turn our hand into a bluff. Maybe try and get like pocket jacks to fold. Maybe try and get a queen to fold. This could be really, really bad. But like I have a hard time believing these like discontinued lines in 3-bet pots. I mean, if he's like C bet then check back, it's a hand like Ace King. This is a fucking disaster line that we're taking. I'm getting a reload ready because this could be horrendous. Right, this doesn't make much sense to be honest with you. Like what hand? I mean, we're folding. But what hand really wants to like 3-bet pre, C bet small flop, check back this turn, and now wants to be like all in over a check raise? I mean, he's probably just checked a very strong hand on the turn. We blocked Jack 10. We timed out again. That's irritating. Oh, we've timed out everywhere. Yeah, that was just bad fancy play by me. No reason to do that. That is not something I would normally. I was trying to show off for a video. I was trying to show off, and it didn't work. I just end up looking like a fucking moron. On that note, let's have a vape. Anyone who plays in my games will know that it's just not a line I typically take because, okay, this guy's just donked out the small blind here. This guy's called. We're going to make an incredibly tight fold with the 10s. We'll know that I don't get out of line with river check raises because I don't know what my frequency is, but I would take the unders on like 3%. I would take the unders on like my bluff ratio being anything higher than 1 in 50. So that wasn't me saying I wasn't advocating that line. I was just dicking around, trying to show off, and it didn't work. But never mind. It was fun, and it's 4-L, so it cost me about fucking 60 pence, so I can live with it. As I said earlier, versus middle position from the cutoff. I don't think we did actually cover this exact spot earlier, but yeah, we're going to be 5xing. He's limp min raised. Crispy's got a good hand. I mean, he might just have pocket 8s, but Crispy's got a good hand. Let's try and beat a good hand. We're not going to beat a good hand. Crispy has tried to check raise. Denied. Crispy, disappointed his check raise attempt didn't work. He's now betting too big to try and make up for lost value. Denied. Calling here again. Calling here with the 8s. That's an interesting turn card, isn't it? We've now got the straight on the 4 flush board. That's not fun. Which is half pot. We do have a straight, but it's just so easy for him to have flushes here. I don't think he's betting a straight for this price. I think he's either got a flush or nothing. So fuck it, we'll pay him. Yeah, he had the nuts. Calling again here, and do I want to check raise this guy in the river? We just check raise this guy in the river and he 3-bet us. So maybe he thinks we're a bit naughty. I think maybe we could start considering some leads here because he's going to be checked back so often. I think he's only going to bet here if he has a straight or better, and then some bluffs. But like, I don't think he'll bluff very often. Yeah, that's disappointing. I think we maybe should have led the river there. I think his play isn't good, by the way. I think his turn bet's really fucking bad. I could be wrong, but I think it's really bad to check to bet that turn. You have an open ender here. He's bet very big, and a 10 doesn't give us the nuts, but we have an open ender, and I like seeing rivers. No. Maybe I'm result orientated with that full house. Maybe we are just supposed to check the river very high frequency. I mean, we can't raise. Well, we could raise the flop, I guess, but I don't think so. Turn we can't raise, and then river maybe we just have to check, and then just check our range and hope he finds some value. Hope he finds some bluffs. Hope he has a 10, and then just check raise him. Hope he has 10 jack and check raise him. Range betting here. Don't think it works especially well against recreational players, but we're going to bet small enough where, again, just similar principle to last time, just bet small here and then probably check back turn. This allows us to like realize our equity quite cheaply most of the time, except when we get check min raised, and yeah, you can have it, sir. 4-5-8. I think we're going to mix between checking and betting quite big here, and this time we're going to go with the quite big bet. Get the fold. Flopping the open end out up on the top left table. Start with a check. Another check min raise. Did I mention that 4-1L reg tables are pretty fucking soft, full of people doing pretty bad things? I mean, just look how good these games are. Please get yourself out of speed poker. If you are a long-term viewer of my channel, I'm rooting for you. If you're a long-term viewer of my channel and a losing poker player and you play speed poker, please, please, just give yourself a fucking chance and get out of the speed poker fucking rake trap. The only people making money from speed poker outside of maybe 5% or so of players are the sites. And that's why they channel you down there. Like Party Poker, for example, they give better rate back to people who play speed poker regularly. Ace King. Mandatory 3-bet. I was considering flatting and maybe letting this guy squeeze. Fuck it, we'll have a go at that. Oh, he's just snap folded. That's a shame. That's a shame. Now we're going to have to play Ace King multi-way, which is unfortunate. Looking forward to getting limp min raised by Crispy again. Oh, he hasn't gone for the min raise this time. He's gone for the slightly bigger raise. He can't always have aces, can he? he's checked again. So we're going to check back. He's going to bet something like 17 big blinds on the turn. Look at that. Who knew? It's almost like I've played this game before, isn't it? It's almost like I've played this game and I'm familiar with the patterns that fish use. Against Crispy here, who seems like they're fruity. I think we have enough showdown value where we don't really want to bet. I don't want to get bet and have him min raise here. That'd just irritate me. Can't fold versus this. And probably not going to fold versus small river bets either. I'm worried here that he just has like a weak made hand that's better than ours. But I don't think he's likely to fold it, so we're just going to take our showdown value. Pocket eights, okie dokie. I'm going to say worried. I don't mean worried because it's 4-1L and I couldn't give a fuck. But yeah, in the poker sense, I was worried. Be nice if we got dealt a few more hands that didn't have a deuce in them. So this player who we're very confident is a reg doesn't stab this flop. Oh, kings, and we've got Crispy in the big blind. I think he can have some like ace highs that he's just happy with. I think he bets a jack a lot. Yeah, crummy run out. Oh, Crispy. Bloody hell. He just had the 10-8 off that. Yeah, okay. Less said about that, the better from his perspective. That's a miserable flop on the top left table against Crispy, isn't it? I think the minute we make a hand against Crispy, we're going to win a nice pot. We haven't made a hand against Crispy yet, unfortunately. Not c-betting the 9 high board over here with our king 10. We've been 4-bet versus under the gun, which frankly terrifies me. We're not going to pile it in. Oh, it's middle position. Are we going to pile it here? No, we're not. We're not piling it in there. don't expect players to check over pairs in a 4-bet pot on a 9-high flop. We might be putting our cape on here and making some big calls. I think we're going to call this river if he bets. Don't think overpairs play this way very often. Happy days. Don't love his 4-bet there. Pocket tens, we're not going to squeeze. We're just going to take a flop. We're going to range bet this flop. Could go bigger. We'll go bigger. No, we won't. No, we won't. We'll do that. He puts a small raise in. This isn't a thing, but good for him. Pocket nines versus Neslo. Do we want to 3-bet and then get it in? Do we want to just call? And I elected to 3-bet. And he folds. Ten nine suited. He's going to flat the button here. Not the flop we were hoping for. There's a lot of donking, isn't there? A lot of donking. We love to see it. We don't love to see it when we haven't got a hand, and it's a bit frustrating. But generally speaking, we love to see it because typically, I mean, there is room for having a donking strategy in poker in 2023, but my guess is most players aren't doing it, and the ones that are doing it badly. I think we're losing slightly on the session. Some of that will be down to my really shit river check raise against Neslo earlier. Queen 9 off. I mean, it feels like this is losing money, but it's a min raise. We're already established with a pretty low rake environment, and when you're making a video, folding is no fun, so we're not going to fold. Check back the Queen 8 here, but I think betting's probably completely fine too. Let's see 2 checks before I start betting. Now we turned a pair, we don't need to bet the turn. He does go with big bet on the turn. He can definitely have some better hands here still at range check the flop. And now on the river, I think versus small bet, we have a raise fold versus big bet, we just have a call. Versus check, I think we have a very easy bet, very comfortable bet of around 7 bigs. Probably not fold into a raise, but probably if we do get raised, he probably just had a very good hand. This guy's gone for the ISO at the big, but he's made it way too small. We've got a terrible hand, but Crispy's in there, and Harry Spurs in there. So let's just flop a flush. Oh, Ooh, isn't that an exciting flop? Sorry for making that rather strange noise there. We'd like a free one, but we don't mind paying for one either. Certainly don't mind paying that price. This is a bargain. Get me in there. The problem is when you get bargains, typically you end up buying something shit. That's a flush. That's the second nut flush. Heads up, we can have some leads here, I think. But we're not going too multi-way. We're going to hook crispy bets and we're going to put a raise in. Oh, and then the spade comes on the river. Now we can't bet big anymore. Ah, sigh. Please don't raise anybody. Please don't raise. Just call crispy. How to win the minimum. Oh, crispy limps, and then I hope he raises again, because that would just make me want to chuckle. Crispy does not come with the limp this time. This guy does come with the 2.5x. We are going to 3-bet to 8.5x. We are floating the king 5-5 with our ace high and backdoor flush draw. Turning a flush, see you with the river, dude. Checks the turn. Which doesn't necessarily mean we have the best hand, but it's encouraging. That's pretty crap river. This guy's cold called. I wish he had more money. We are going to bet, but we're not in love with the situation by any stretch. Just going to take our showdown value here, which we do not have. This guy's gone for another check raise. Not really a thing on this board, I don't think, very often when you cold call out of the big blind, but go him. Get the 6-3-4 deuce jack deuce 4-5. Come on, mate. Making a video. Give me some better stuff than this. I'm not asking for aces. I'm just asking for stuff we can VPip. Poker Ninja AA. Oh, he's got the king and the AA in his name. That's clever. We're going to hope for an 8 on the flop. We do not get the 8 on the flop. we're just going to continue by checking and folding like a fanny. This guy's just donking again. Good for you, sir. Get him. Get him, most annoying. Get the reg. Oh, we think he's a reg anyway. Miserable flop top right. You can see a few regs in these games. This guy's clearly a reg of some description. I'm not saying he's good. This guy's opening 2.5x, seems to be opening reasonable frequencies, small sample size. Yeah, it's definitely some regs, but then we have other guys who aren't. So I'm not saying these games are just like literally everyone to fish, but certainly going to be way softer than most games most people who watch my channel playing. We're going to isolate Crispy again here with 6i, which might be a very ill-fated idea, but we're doing it anyway. Crispy just finds the fold, which was the action I thought he was the least likely to find. I'm starting to get somewhat bored now due to the lack of interesting hands that are developing. And I am getting very bored now. Jack Ace when you got Queen 5. nothing you're going to be able to do there. Do turn a flush draw. I mean, that's a board that I would expect him to bet a reasonably high frequency on, but I don't think we get to have any leads just yet. I am sorely tempted to raise here. So fuck it, that's what we're going to do. I don't think this is necessarily a good play. But you know what? We're fucking doing it. Happy days. That's what happens when boredom sets in. You also start 3-betting the Queen 9 suited. Check calling with the Queen. A 6-7 suited button. Just fold reg. Not going to. I wanted to bet 3 there. Never mind. Flopping a pair and a gut shot on a board where I think Under the Gun just wants to check a lot. He might not be aware of that. B, he might be aware of it and not giving a fuck. But it does scare me a bit because I just think he's very likely to have a good hand. This guy just shouldn't be doing this very often. So just going to try and exploit something that someone shouldn't be doing and just get jammed on. That's what we're going to do here. He snap calls. I think he says an overpair a lot. Don't think he gets an 8 very often. I'm all in. Just hope he didn't snap me off with pocket queens or something. He folds. That was not good by me. Don't copy that. That was me just fucking around and just looking at what's happened and thinking, right, he shouldn't really be doing this. The whole "this isn't a thing" thing. This guy's 3 betters. We've got 2 8s. I think we could probably just fold here, but we're not going to. Doing a lot of things I shouldn't be doing now out of pure boredom, which isn't necessarily a good thing. It's working out though. It looks like it's working out. I still don't think we get to bet this turn. I think he still has a significant range advantage, or a decent range advantage at least. And we are going to call and hope for some safe ribbers. I think we just almost certainly have the best hand here, but there are lots of ribbers that we would not like to see. That is not one of them. We're going to be all in, hopefully. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, this table's gone short-handed. We're going to be out of here in a minute. And do I want to find a second wind and carry on grinding? Or do I want to just go and do something a bit more interesting? What time is it? 25 past 11. I think he's got fuck all to do for another hour and a half. Literally nothing to do. Just part of me decided, someone's sitting in now. Maybe the game will fill up. That hand was just a complete clusterfuck. I just didn't even. I wasn't even paying attention. Get your Jack 6 out. Most annoying. I'm sure that is most annoying for Neslo, but funny. Do we have any avatars or things that is like, yeah, that's funny? Is there any laughing shit? Yeah, that one will do. Yay. We're laughing at Neslo. Let's laugh at Neslo. That's what we're doing there. We are laughing at Neslo. Something I do a lot in my regular games in iPoker. When rigs get stacked by fish, I do like spamming them with the "you're good" emoji. The irony now is he's just going to stack us too. Didn't donk, which he has form for. Oh, this spot's getting worse and worse. Probably have to call the river as played. Crispy is all in up here for over 2x pot on the river. If I get a walk with aces, I'll be fucking furious. Get fucked. We're not playing 4-0 and Unibet to get fucking walks with aces. It's totally not what I am here for. How long have we been playing? An hour and 12. Okay. Well, yeah, we can just fuck it off, can't we? How do you fucking fuck this thing off? Sit out next big blind. Ace 3 suited. Fuck it. Call. Flopped a pair and a backdoor flush draw, so we'll see you on the turn, sir. Oh, gives us a free one. Don't think we're meant to be checking this board too often. Maybe he just has ace queen. That check on the flop might get this man paid. My fear is he just has like pocket jacks a lot, but I don't think pocket jacks does this. So at this point, I'm thinking he either has a very big hand that he was checking the flop with, or he has nothing. And I think this is a bad call, but I'm going to make it anyway, just for the fucking hell of it. And we're calling the river too, and I think that'd be even worse. When I call the river, I think it might be even worse. But there's some stuff that hasn't got there, and it's 4-L, and I don't give a fuck. This might be one of the worst calls I've ever made on video. Oh, was it? Was it? Absolute zero fucks given for the record. This ISO's too wide. Again, not really giving a fuck. That's a flop, isn't it? Right, I would check this back all the time, but fuck it, we're not going to. We're going to hope Crispy re-raises, check raises, so we can just dump it all in. And for the record, this would just be a pure check back for me if I was playing with any degree of fucking sensibleness. Open the 4-3 again, not on open. But we've got 2 hands to go before the end of the video, and it's Crispy's big blind. So why the hell not? Flop a gut shot. Do we start bluffing? We got 4 high. We're making a video and it's 4-0. So I think we all know the answer to that question. So let's see how we've done. I think we started with something like €56. Pretty sure we've lost on the session. So we've got like €33 there. Plus 20. Yeah, we've lost like maybe €3. And yeah, I had a hard time taking the session seriously, to be honest with you. The point of the video was to show you guys who are struggling to make money in like nano stakes, speed poker pools, that there is another way. These aren't going to become a regular feature on the channel because I can't take them seriously. I just, if I was a Twitch streamer, I could be convinced to like do like a mini bankroll challenge on Unibet, but I'm not a Twitch streamer, and I'm not going to do a bankroll challenge because A, they're shit on YouTube. Yeah, they're just not going to fucking. And B, I just never finish a challenge. But yeah, just look at these video, look at the video, look at the games we've been in, look at the players we've been up against, compare them to how your sessions normally look, and then get back to me when you made the switch and you're actually starting to hit the withdraw button. And I'll be a very happy boy. But we're going to leave it there now. I might try and have a little nap before Cheltenham this afternoon, where I thoroughly expect to not get many winners, but I'll enjoy it nevertheless. Take care, everybody. As always, fuck the Tories, and that does mean you if you are one. And yeah, we'll see you sometime next week, probably. Take care, and bye bye for now.